The Brooklyn Nets have made one final roster move before the end of the season, and that is inking Malachi Smith to a 2-year contract extension. We break down all of what that means and whether or not he deserved it on today's episode of the Brooklyn Boys Show. Hello, everybody, and happy Easter Eve. It is Saturday, April 4th, coming to you live from Brooklyn. Hope you guys enjoy the content. If you do, make sure you drop down below this video, hit like and hit subscribe. Those help us grow tremendously right here on the channel, and it continues to push us out to fellow Nets fans on the YouTube algorithm. Quick, easy, simple. Hit like, hit subscribe, and then drop your thoughts on the Malachi Smith extension down below in the comments. We'll be sure to read and react to all of those. Who was first reported by Shams Charania earlier this morning. The 6'4" guard out of Gonzaga has officially been inked through the final 5 games of this year and then all of next year, the 2026-2027 NBA season. To me, this is a good move right off the bat. From Sean Marks' perspective, he brings in Malachi Smith on an initial 2-way deal last month to try to get the wheels turning to begin his NBA career. Never played an NBA game before that, and he was very successful in doing that. So ends up inking him to a second 2-way contract and bringing him back, or rather a 10-day contract, both of those 10-day contracts. So he brings him back for a second 10-day contract. Thought not even that was enough, so then he ends up reworking Smith's contract to keep him around for the rest of the season, and then Shams just reported that Smith will stay with Brooklyn through the remainder of next season as well, and it feels like he deserved it. A scrappy guy that's been playing really well on both ends of the floor. We saw his performance last night, his second highest scoring game at the NBA level so far, and I'll give you the statistics of what he did on Long Island in a much bigger sample size all season long, and you can be the judge for yourself. 14 points, 5 rebounds, 6 assists per game with the Long Island Nets this year, and it's really been his breakout. He spent time with 3 other G League programs before Brooklyn coming out of Gonzaga, but it really stuck this year, and he deserved the call-up when he first got it in early March, and he's deserved this contract now to move him through the end of next season, even if that's not in a prominent role when it's all said and done. When the entire lineup's healthy, you're probably not talking about huge Malachi Smith minutes where he's playing in big games down the stretch for a team fighting for a playoff spot, but needless to say, he can still be an important factor. He can still be a very, very good rotational guy who will give this team great defensive minutes, and that's something that every NBA team should value, and I think Malachi Smith will be able to bring that, and I think Jordy Fernandez is going to be very, very pleased with what he gets over an 82-game slate. Malachi Smith next year, so far at the NBA level, in a much smaller sample size, only 10 games though, Smith has already proved a lot in his ability moving forward. Hopefully he'll be able to grow on it with an offseason of development at the NBA level with these coaches, and he'll get some summer league run. He shot 54% from 3 in these 10 games, 52% overall from the field, averaged a steal per game, including 3 in his high-scoring game, which was 18 against Sacramento on that West Coast road trip. 6.5 points, 2 rebounds, 2 assists per game. But again, that was in very limited run. So imagine what he does over an 82-game slate. He only actually played 3 games of 20 or more minutes out there on the court. So you really didn't see a ton of Malachi Smith, but the Nets are already confident enough. Sean Marks is already confident enough to say, all right, you've shown enough to move forward on this roster. And we know it's going to be a scrappy battle for bids on this roster come training camp next year. And Malachi Smith seems like he is well on his way to getting in there and maybe even finding a prominent role in the rotation depending on injury status. But I think he can be a great fill-in guy and can be very, very reliable. And he's played a big role on both ends of the floor so far at the NBA level. And hopefully, again, he's able to grow and work some more in his game in the offseason. Keep that three-point shooting where it's at, because if it is, I mean, you're talking about a guy who shoots, obviously it's not going to be at this clip over an 82-game season, but can shoot it well from 3. It doesn't have to be great. If he can shoot it above league average from 3 and play defense and rebound the way he can in his 6'4" frame, you're talking about someone who could seriously play some NBA minutes for this team next year. So I think there is a lot to look forward to in the Malachi Smith era. As for the Nets as a whole, 5 games remaining on the tank slate, including a very, very big one tomorrow afternoon, Easter Sunday matinee against the Washington Wizards, a chance to overtake them for the worst record in the NBA. Smith last night, 15 points, including 12 in the second quarter. And oh boy, he just missed from half court. Refs waved it off. That was one of the craziest shots I've seen in person. At least 10 feet behind half court. Chucks it up off a Josh Minot deflection. Refs said it was good on the court, went to review, and the replay center overturned it, unfortunately for him. But what a 2-3 minute stretch of game time that was for Malachi Smith. 4 or 5 from 3 as well last night. That's what you missed in Nets World today. Glad I was able to catch you up and give you my opinion on Malachi Smith. If you like this kind of content, Brooklyn Nets breaking news, once more, drop down below this video, hit like and subscribe, completely free, helps the show tremendously. All right, I'm Josh Williver for the Brooklyn Boys Show saying have a blessed weekend, everybody. No matter what holidays you're celebrating, it is always let's go Nets. Stay safe.